Today we're going to create Pong together. But this isn't just a simple guide. There will be exercises for you because that's the best way to learn. Here's how it will work. I will explain in detail what each object needs to do. Then I will ask you to pause the video to figure it out on your own. After a few seconds, I'll share my solution. Trust me, doing it this way will help you learn 1,000 times more than just following along and copying code. So let's get started. You can always search Google if you want. The most important part of this is that you must understand what you are copying. I'm guessing you also have at least the basics on how GameMaker works, because I won't really explain everything. Alright, what do we need to make Pong? Paddle and a ball. So let's go make that. Create a sprite paddle and make it the size you want. But if you want to copy what I'm doing 32 by 126 and make it white. Also make the origin point in the middle center. This is important. Create a sprite ball. Mine is going to be 32 by 32. And again, don't forget the middle center origin point. Then create a paddle object and create a ball object. Set the sprite to the object. Go to your room and make it the size you want, of course. I'm gonna go with 1280 by 720. And now we are ready to code. So this is exercise number 1. The paddles movement. If you think you can do this already, go ahead and skip. But if you are a beginner, I'm going to tell you how to think about this. Tell yourself, what does the paddle needs to do? Move up and down. Yeah, but how? By using the keyboard. Yes, but how? By pressing the key up and the key down. Now you got it. You need to think of it like that. To make the paddle move, it needs something else. Speed. So you need to press up key to make your paddle go up, which means you need negative Y speed. Same thing to move down, but you need positive Y speed. Negative Y speed is up and positive Y speed is down. I am not asking you to have the same code as me, of course, because there are 1,000 ways to code this. But if your code make the paddle go up and go down, you did it. But if not, this is alright. You're here to learn, and let me explain how I did it. You should know that in the create event, you should host the variable speed in this case, and step event is the things that occur every frame. This is quite simple to explain. If the keyboard key up is pressed, then Y, which is the origin of the paddle, minus, because we need minus speed to go up, like I said, is equal speed. So if the keyboard up is pressed, then the paddle will go up. Same thing, but reversed for the paddle going down. Not too bad. Let's move on. Now we can see a problem. The paddle goes off screen. So this is exercise number 2. Paddles limit. You need to find a way to stop the paddle from going out of bounds. In other terms that might help you, you need to check if the bottom of your paddle goes below the bottom of your room. And if it does, move the paddle back up to the bottom edge of the room. Same thing for the top. Alright, I will explain how I did it. You can read this as if Y, the paddle position, plus the height of your paddle sprite divided by 2. This gives us the bottom half. Is bigger than the room height, then Y would equal the room height minus half of our sprite, which would give us the exact spot to be in to not go off screen. For the top, it's the same thing, but instead of saying room height, you just say 0 because the top of the screen is position 0. Like I said, there is plenty of other things that works. You can also use the bbox bottom method like this. The bbox bottom is the bottom of your sprite, so it's simpler that way when you know it, of course. So congratulations, you can be proud of yourself. Now that the paddle move and doesn't go outside of the screen, what is next? You are right, the ball. Exercise number 3, the ball. There is a multiple things that we need the ball to do. We want it to move at a certain speed, bounce off the paddle, and if it passes the paddle then goes off screen, the game must restart. In other terms that might help you, you need to randomize the ball at the start to either go left, negative H speed, or right, positive H speed. Take what you learned in the exercise 2, prevent the ball from going off screen the same way as exercise 2. and make the ball bounce off the wall. You also need to make it so when the ball collides with the paddle, it bounces. Bounce meaning it reverses its H speed. And you also want to make it bounce up and down, V speed, at random. Then if the ball goes outside of the room, the game restarts. This is all the event that you need. You can pause the video if you want. Alright, let's explain how I did it. In the create event, I put randomize H speed equals choose 10 and minus 10. What this means is that at the start of the game, it randomizes the H speed to positive or negative, meaning at the start, it will go either left or right. In the step event, to make it bounce on the top and the bottom, this is the same thing as the paddle. To make it bounce, you need to reverse its speed. You could also put B-box bottom and top like I did in the exercise 2. The collision event with the paddle is simple. The H speed gets reversed, meaning it will bounce. And you can add a little thing at the end to make the ball goes a little bit faster every time it collides with the paddle. The vertical speed at random to make the ball go either up and down after each collision. And the game restart if it goes out of the room. If you got it by yourself, congratulations again. If not, remember that with practice, you will be able to do everything on your own. It just takes patience and consistency. What is missing? Someone to play with. Let's create another paddle, but this is going to be controlled by the computer. So, exercise number 4. Computer paddle. This first step is simple. You just copy the create event and the part where you prevented your paddle from going out of screen. You need to make the paddle target the position Y of the ball, and with that variable, you can tell the paddle to follow it. Like, if the paddle target Y is smaller than the position of the paddle, Y, then the paddle should go up with negative Y speed. And the same thing for the move down. Alright, here's what I did. I put the target Y equals the position Y of the ball as a variable in the step event because it needs to keep track of the Y position of the ball every frame. And with that, you simply tell it that if the ball is higher than the paddle, then the paddle go up. Now let's test it out. Now we can have a computer to play with, but you can see a problem, right? Yeah, it's very jittery. This is because it moves every frame. You can let it be, or you can tweak the code to make it smoother. I will not make this an exercise, as the exercise was really just for the basics. But you can try on your own if you want. There is a multiple ways of doing this, but I will explain mine. It is basically the same thing, but I use the minimum code, so it moves at a consistent speed and prevent overshooting, making it jittery. You can tweak with everything in here and have fun with what you just created. Look how smooth this is. It's amazing. This is all from me. Since I really didn't see anyone else making exercise type guide like I just did, I would like to know if you guys liked it. Did I explain everything well enough for you to be able to do it on your own? Most importantly, did I explain well enough for you to now understand all the code you just write? So leave a comment below and tell me if you'd like this series to continue with another game. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.